Welcome back to Paupergeddon Spring Edition 2024 Pisa. I am Alessandro Saponara,
And I am Alessandro as well, but Alessandro Moretti.
the Alessandro team for this round. The tournament is going on and it's really amazing. And we will have a really Italian matchup for this round. We have you, Dimir
from,
Ferris, and versus Boros Rally.
Yeah, straight from 10 years ago.
Yeah, straight from 2015. It's a long time that we didn't see a Boros Rally in a Paupergeddon tournament.
But is Boros Sint with Sky Fisher, Guldota, and Ramosino and Rally Season, or Boros Bully with
Let's check the list.
there's a spring left drum and a battle screech. Yeah, that's Boros Bully.
That's Boros Bully, really.
Mogged deck list, basically, because Mogged, at least on Magic Online, was the last player, I suppose, playing this kind of deck list, this kind of Bully deck list with 2 copies of Springled Drum. And Springled Drum in Boros Bully, I not really expecting that kind of card here. But
It rounds in it is an artifact to Metalcraft, so it helps, but not so needed. I mean, in my opinion.
Here is just a way to cheat Battle Scratch one turn earlier in the game. So if you happen to be able to cast a Traveling Spectre and a Springlet Drum before turn 3, then you are also able to cast a Battle Scratch and flashback it by turn.
Yeah, indeed. You play a lot of
of
cheap creatures. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tap a creature and generate an extra mana.
What's the matchup? Who's the favorite?
Before the print of Suffocating Fumes, this kind of matchup was very favorited for any kind of Boros deck.
Yep.
Especially Boros Bully, because Boros Bully, as its name can suggest, is built to bully all Ferris deck. In this case, after a couple of years, Suffocating Fumes got printed alongside Murmuring Mystic.
Yep.
So now we
This
have...
is huge against Boros Bully deck.
Yeah, for sure. We have a creature that works in a similar way to Battle Screech. So a 4-mana spell that can generate a huge amount of tokens and, I suppose, let you dominate the battlefield. So, okay, that's a cool play. Snuff out in response to Battle Scratch. So
to prevent the casting the flashback. Yeah.
Because when you are solving a Battle Scratch, you keep the priority because it's your turn.
Yeah.
And
you are the
can
active player.
Cast another spell.
Yep.
And the flashback cost of Battle Scratch is tapping 3 creatures. So you can tap your 2 tokens and another creature to flashback the card. Wow. Snuff out in response to Battle Scratch into the singleton copy.
It was really needed to, in your opinion, to snuff out the Traveling Spectre, paying for life.
Yeah, probably yes, because if you don't have a lot of spells in your hand or a lot of cantrips, or
you have a token generator here, so you can contrast the flying.
Yeah, you can contrast,
bird.
But if you don't do that, Bully can start attacking you. So that means that instead of having just 2 tokens, you have 4 tokens. You can attack, trade with the... No, you can't even trade with the tokens of Murmuring Mystic because you haven't played Snuff Out to kill the Traveling Spectre, at least in that scenario. So you have just an opponent with more creatures than you, and that opponent can freely attack you, maybe not with all the tokens, but at least with half of those creatures, and start dealing a lot of damage.
It surely slow down the gameplay of Boros Bully.
So instead of going for the resources here, you are going for the life gain, to the life count, because you paid for lives, but you are saving a lot of life points by preventing your opponent attacking you. And as you can see, Bully with only 2 creatures on the battlefield is not attacking furries
Yeah,
because
it's not a
furries-
threat.
Yeah, and also I suppose that Dimmer furries had already in hand that singleton Bajuka bug. So in that case, Snuff Out worked well as a 2-for-1 because it killed the creature and then exiled the flashback of the Battle Screech. All right, another Battle Screech. Maybe we are gonna see a counter spell on it. I mean, you are likely to counter that Battle Screech, or
Yeah.
if you have counter spell.
No,
in
it resolves.
All right, that's
And it is a flashback.
yeah, of course. I mean, it is very, it's not doing anything. President.
Hi, Xilor. Hi, Geneva guys.
Bully is not doing much here right now.
And that's huge. That's
Wow.
12 damages.
Trap and Charm on Murmuring Mystic can
That dies.
change the game here. If you have a counter spell, you want to counter that Trap and Charm. I mean, Mystic is probably the only way to not
Fragment
lose
Charm
the
is
game.
a huge, a really huge removal spell in this kind of swarm deck.
That's
it-
for sure.
It can deal a lot of damage, massive damage.
Wow. So seems like Furries has a lot of removal spells in hand, but nothing relevant beside the removal spell. So we can see if the Demon Furries has any suffocating fumes or arms of other in the main deck to try to kill those flying creatures. Wow. Instant speed Trap and Charm to kill the spell stutter sprite. That's so cool.
They have a lot of amount of mana, so they can have a lot of responses of a lot of resources for this kind of war to determine who's the dominant deck, who's the attacker here.
I don't know how many.
It's gonna be
cards-
fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, for sure. That used to be a really cool match to watch. Right now, Burst Bully changed kind of a lot. I mean, it changed fairly enough compared to when the deck was playing Palace Sentinel. They sometimes also still play Guardian of the Guild Pact, but right now is mostly an aggressive strategy.
They played 3 copies of Rally the Peasant.
0 Basilisk Gate, I suppose.
No Basilisk Gate.
All right. So kind of
No
weird.
gates at all. No gates at all.
Because Burst Bully started to be played again when Basilisk Gate was printed, because Basilisk Gate
You can have the same damage output in a more stable build, and you have a more optimal way to protect your creatures due to counter, due to
and you are also less reliant on Rally the Peasant. But from my point of view, Rally the Peasant is just so amazing in Burst Bully, because it's something like a combo spell with Battle Screech.
Yeah.
So if you resolve a Squadron Oak or a Battle Screech plus flashback from the Battle Screech, you can just say, okay, I have a 6 mana and casting Battle Screech, Rally the Peasant,
Rally the Peasant, yeah.
and flashback it and win, because you don't
I have
enough,
24 damages here.
Yeah, I'm
Take the rest.
I'm dealing 30 or more damages to you, and I think you are dead.
Yeah. What about the sideboard, dear Adept Terra?
Dear Alessandro.
Dear Alessandro. I don't even remember your name.
Alessandro, tell to Alessandro what you have.
So what about the sideboard? In the Dimmer deck, we have Blue Elemental Blast, Annul, Steel Sabotage, Duress, Relic of Progenitus, Suffocating Fumes, Arms of Father, and Unexpected Fangs. A lot of stuffs, but at the other side, we have Dust to Dust, pretty useless in this matchup, obviously. 4 Gorilla Shaman, 4 Red Elemental Blast, 1 Guardian's Pledge, and Flaring Pains, 2 copies of Flaring Pains. That's really nice.
Yeah, I suppose we are going to see your elemental blast because
Yeah, of course.
it is good to
On each side, the respective
and
elemental
if you
blast,
are-
of course.
If you are casting your Murmuring Mystic by turn 4, our elemental blast is 1 mana Vindicate or counter spell, so it's always and of course good against the blue based decks. But of course, we are also gonna see Suffocating Fumes and Arms of Other because Burst Bully or Burst Rally is a swarm dex or heavily reliant on having a swarm of small flying creatures.
Yeah.
And is always weak to Master Removal unless they have.
But what about the choice to play Suffocating Fumes in the sideboard? I think that the cycling effect can allow you to play it in the main deck, so you can choose more powerful Rod effect for the sideboard. What about, in your opinion, the choice to use
Between,
the Suffocating Fumes?
Suffocating Fumes, Arms of Other. Well,
No, Suffocating Fumes against all kind of
okay.
wipe spell.
Why playing Suffocating Fumes over?
For example, the -2/-2 cost 1 and double black. I don't remember. the
Echo
name.
Decay.
No.
Drawing Sorrow.
Drawing Sorrow.
Okay.
For example, stuff like
Drawing
that.
Sorrows is.
It has a double black specific
it's
mana for.
very hard to cast Drawing Sorrow
Yeah.
in a deck like Dreamer Fairs. Okay, you play Bajuka Bar, Dimmer Guildgate, Dimmer Aqueduct, and some dual land, but it is easier to cast.
One black of specific mana
At one
against
specific
two.
mana. And that's the reason to play Arms of Other over Drawing Sorrow. But why playing
The Suffocating Fumes in the
and
sideboard?
also Arms of Other? Arms of Other is better against decks like Synthesizer.
Yep.
Boros Synthesizer or Mardus Synthesizer, because those decks play Glintoak and Synthesizer. I think it's important to know that Synthesizer generates a Samurai token, a 2/2 with Vigilance.
Yep.
So with an Arms of Other,
White.
Samurai,
Yeah.
you can kill some tokens and
Yep.
some Glintoaks and also some Traveling Inspector, while Suffocating Fumes is better suited to fight creatures like Murmuring Mystic, Spellstutter Sprite, and of course decks like Goblin Combo. It's a free mana to deal with a deck like Goblin Combo, but in reality, if you think of it as a removal spell that can kill more than one creature, is kind of a huge upgrade compared to cards like Hydroblast or Counterspell or Snuff Out, which isn't even able to kill a Putrid Goblin in that matchup. So I suppose as the last one copy of Suffocating Fumes is fine in
the sideboard.
still in this metagame in the sideboard of Dimmer Fairies. So after watching the first game where Bully...
I think that Campanino, the UB Fairies player, didn't draw so well the last match.
not being able to find any counter
Yeah,
spell.
he dies, doing nothing.
Yeah, just costed the game because he wasn't able to counter the Travel Charm, preventing the opponent to going wider with the Battle Screech and, of course, Resistant. We are seeing double aggro bolas, which isn't really great in this matchup, but right now, those bolas, those augurs, are preventing Bully to steal some damage in the early game, so it is still fine as a creature by itself right now. There's no basic swamp on the battlefield right now, so Snuff Out isn't really...
It's not able to cast Snuff Out.
They can't cast Snuff Out. They're just slamming some
blocking creatures
that don't do
He's
much.
developing his gameplay. Here's, of course, as expected.
Yeah, as expected.
Swamp.
Maybe, I suppose they kept the Snuff Out post side, so now they have the basic swamp. No, the dual land, which is also swamp. And
the third copy. Okay. I swarm more than you. Here's the swarm.
Well, Ogre if Wallace is kind of good if your opponent has all Intrapid Inspector and Relief.
He's stopping the race at all. So
Alright, so Ogre fetching a Lorien Village. Cool, because you can fetch basic lands with Ogre of Wallace.
The Lorien Revealed was a huge upgrade to this kind of deck. It's
For
really, really huge.
For every blue based deck. I mean, even if you don't play Ogre of Wallace,
Yeah.
being able to lower the amount of lands just
Yeah.
a little, to have a spell that in late game let you draw 3 new fresh cards is a huge update in this format where, you know, if you cycle Lorien Revealed to fetch a land, you are tapping 1 mana.
Yeah.
But in Pauper, every dual land is tapped, so it's just a fair amount of mana to fix your mana, and also has a huge upside in the late game. So
Yeah.
the card is just great, especially in decks playing Brainstorm.
Yeah, of course. That is a beautiful synergy with the Ogre of Bolas too. That allows you
Yeah, that's for sure.
to take a land in the 3 cards that you watch.
The weak point of Ogre of Bolas was not being able to fetch you a creature or a
Yep.
land, and you can do that now. All right, so we watched a beautiful turn for Burst.
The Bolas hit Snuff Out, Brainstorm, I think, and
Lastly, Lorien Revealed.
the Lorien Revealed. Yeah.
So Brainstorm fetch an upkeep, and Boros in the last turn played a Thrilling Discovery, discarding double basic land, followed up by a Squadron Oak fetching 3 birds. Is really great for both of them. I mean, the game is pretty stalled.
They're setting up.
Yeah,
They're setting
but
up.
they're
I think
setting
that
up, for a huge
in
turn
2
the
or
mid-game.
2 or 3 rounds there will be a huge war that can change the game, the whole game. The deck list will be published after the end of the event, so tomorrow. It's not a public list event.
And this game seems like going much longer
Yeah.
compared to game 1.
Yeah.
Probably, post side favors as the upper end because he knows what the opponent is playing, and also plays a greater amount of removal spell. Master removal spells, and master removals are the weak point of Bully.
He doesn't play any kind of protection from maybe Guardian's Pledge.
Yeah, you can bring in Guardian's Pledge, and it is kind of weird to see Guardian's Pledge, which is the White Winnie version of Earl Descendant, the sideboard of this Bully deck list. Usually they play Ramosin
You can cast with no cost if you control a plane.
Ramosin Rally is the
No,
4
Ramosin Rally. Okay.
4 mana that you can cast by tapping 1 white creature if you
Okay.
control a place, but it gives only +1/+1.
Yeah.
So compared to Guardian's Pledge, is weaker against cards like Drawing Sorrow or Arms of Father.
Yeah, that gave
And
plus
also-
-2. Yeah.
And also you can also say that against Master Removals decks, it is better to have more copies of Early Deficient because, seems weird, but if your whole game plan is just having Battle Screech plus Early Deficient to kill your opponent before they find any way to prevent them that outcome, it is better to be able to kill the opponent as fast as possible.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
there is the Arms of Father, and here, Arms of Father is the real deal. And oh no,
That's
It worked.
7 for 1. really bad.
all right.
That's yeah. For black, I think.
Oh,
And there's a ninja.
Salvat Edition Ninja of the Powers.
I really hate whiteboard.
I really love Whiteboard.
Oh god. No, you're one of the Bragiotto team for
I-
white bird creature.
Bragiotto is my son.
Okay. You listen, Pietro. You listen.
So
A
double.
quick rebuild of
we
the
are building again. Yeah.
of the board.
I suppose that having a lot of one mana creatures
Yeah.
let you build kind of
Rebuild very
easily.
quickly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The board.
It is surprising to see prismatic strands against Dimir Fairies, because Fairies, if Dimir doesn't really interact with the burn damage,
Yeah.
so it's just a dead card in most cases, but at least let you, just to say, charm block more freely, because you can trade your prismatic strands for your opponent creatures by charm blocking and then
Yes, snuff
resolving.
out. He's trying to
Alright.
preserve his
Yeah,
ninja.
it is weird that Bully didn't block with 3 creatures that Ninja of TT powers, because
Because of this.
he had the chance to
Because
play
of this.
around a single turn removal spell. Maybe he just feared. Oh, there's a Pyroblast.
That's
Okay.
the fairy,
and
that's the flashback of the prevent. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
of course.
I guess that game could be better for
I think
for Bully.
this move is okay for the UB Fairies player because it
It's still on the
Fontini used a lot of resources to do
Bully.
nothing.
Yeah, Bully used a larger amount of resources and is still losing,
Yeah,
while Fairies has more creature on the battlefield and is on the aggressive right now. Is the beatdown.
is the aggressor. Yeah.
Mhm. So they asked us how much Gruul. I guess.
Oh, we
Ponza is
have
present.
the
We have the
metagame
metagame
here.
right
Yeah, yeah.
here on our end. So as you
Oh, so much Ponza. God.
you can say that even when there is only just only one Ponza deck in the room
It's
is
my
just too
dream,
much.
and one is too much. Yeah, of course.
No, jokes
There are
aside,
78. Oh god, it's too much. 78 points a deck that is the 12.3% of
yeah,
the meta
the second
game.
most played deck is
The second
Ponza
most
today.
That
The first
yeah.
the deck played the most
Yep.
today is Grixis Affinity with Sneaky Snacker, played by 88 players. So the 13.8% of the metagame, and surprisingly, at least for me, the third most played deck is Rakdos Madness with Sneaky Snaker.
Followed by the Cool Dota Burn, the old one, Cool
well,
Dota Burn.
Cool
With,
Dota.
with 37 presences, but I think that this madness deck is the natural evolution of the Cool Dota Burn.
For the presence of Sneaky Snaker in
Yeah.
the metagame, you say?
You can return to the old good Cool
Well,
Dota.
Sneaky Snaker by itself is a good card, so it's not surprising
It's a
to me.
strictly upgrade to the Kitchen Imp, for example.
Yeah.
So you can play
Well,
that kind of gameplay with
a weak part of Madness was not having enough flying creatures, because Kitchen Imp is so good that you naturally think, hey, I like this card. I want to play more copies of this card. Why am not able to play 8 copies of Kitchen Imp?
No.
And
Here's the Sneaky Snacker.
yeah, Sneaky Snacker.
Here we go.
You can eat it with the blood token and then reanimate it for free.
So you have a lot of draw and discard effects in the deck, so you can easily discard the cards.
Looting,
all the looting
red,
effects, all the cathartic reunion like
red
effect.
elemental blast. No, red deadly dispute.
Yeah.
Answer.
Yeah. That allows you to sacrifice an artifact or discard a card and draw two. Yes.
So they are asking us who won the last match.
Yeah, they
Sint
won at
Combo?
1. Yeah.
Sint. Thank you, chat, for answering. And so the metagame is Grixis Affinity, Ponza, Madness Rakdos with Sneaky Snacker, Kuldota Red Queens, so
Yeah.
also Blade as 5% the metagame,
Yeah. Followed by Jeskai Ephemerate with
Jeskai
29
Ephemerate,
presences.
and Walls combo. That's kind of surprising. And we also have a fair amount of Glee combo, 27 players for percentage of the metagame.
Yeah, Gabriel Pneuma, me too. Me too.
Ogni volta che vedo Moretti in streaming, ogni volta rinnego le donne.
Does the Ponza list around land destruction or no, it's the Ponza. So land destruction plus big creatures with cascade and stuffs like that.
Yeah, it is more
special
likely
mention
to see
to
Ponza with land denial.
to that brave player who chooses to play the familiar deck. That in a Ponza metagame is not so good, but still.
We have Mono Black Devotion.
Mono Black Devotion, I
I mean,
think, no?
MBC is probably Mono Black Devotion, right?
I'm see what one player,
Ah, okay.
one player with mono black contract. Yeah,
We could see Mono Black each in table, but it's probably is not the best way to describe the deck that someone is playing.
one player with the hot dogs.
My favorite is Rat's Gate.
Yeah, there's one player that I think that will win the best sim deck that is playing Rat Gates.
Yeah.
Incredible. With murder. One copy of murder in the main deck.
Well, when you are playing a deck that is supposed to murder your opponent, it's good to have murder. Here we go. There's Elmonger, Nero Follia di Tormentata Esistenza.
This is
Dante
the name
Alighieri.
of the deck.
So, Elmonger, Kitchen Imp, Puchet Imp, Troll of Chasm Doom,
Gorgon
Recluse.
Recluse.
Ah, it is a Mono Red Madness. Wow, so cool.
Mono black madness.
I said Mono Red.
You said mono red.
Okay, Mono Black Madness. Yeah. Thank you.
20 players choose to play familiar today.
In my opinion,
The-
players is not well placed. right
Very
now.
brave to
Very brave for sure. I mean,
to choose familiar in a
yeah,
Ponza metagame.
something like 30% of the metagame is composed by decks that see
That you hate.
that you
Yeah.
don't want to face.
No, never.
never,
Never.
So, okay, you play 4 copies of that.
How many fellow
enough.
infectors? I'm sure that there are at least 3 Mono G infect,
2 copies of Simic Infect.
2 copies of Simic infect, and what about Poison Storm?
How many copies of One Last Spy?
1.
Only one.
Only one, of
not enough.
course. We not allowed to play more than 1 copy in the field.
I want to know how many copies of Turbo Fog, because that is a good deck. So we are playing game 3 right now, and there's not any relevant play until now beside that Squadron Oak.
I think the first round, the first turn of the game is used by both deck to set up the gameplay. So
Well, that's true.
little creatures here, little creatures there, drawing spell here, drawing spell there. So I think that
It is important probably to note that in this kind of matchup, what really matters the most is does Demir Ferries as already in his hand a copy of Arms of Adar or Suffocating Fumes, because the whole point of this game, of this matchup, is probably resolving an Arms of Adar. And
yeah,
we're
that's the key.
able-
That's the key of the matchup.
case
Yeah, of
of
course.
the second game at least. Yeah, at least, as they pointed out, one of the very early plays here was Snuff Out on Travel Inspector, a very aggressive play. especially since there's no battle screech. I mean, Bully didn't play any battle screech, so it's kind of suspicious. But maybe it is a tell
That he has a
that
suffocating
they have
fumes.
suffocating fumes, and they don't have Arms of Fire right now. So I suppose we are likely to see suffocating fumes in a couple turns. I mean, Dimiferis has just 11 lives right now, so keeping getting damage can
All
be
the snuff out
painful.
cost him a lot of
Yeah,
lives. So yeah,
cost 4 lives, but
you need to pay attention.
you know, if you don't have a Gore of Bolas in your end, letting a Traban Inspector alive for 2 matches can also cost more lives than that play. And we are now seeing a couple of Squadron Oak.
He's
against
waiting the right spot to cast the suffocating fumes to deal more damage possible to the opponent.
Okay. Oh, that's
to the opponent's board.
Interesting play, attacking with only 2 Squadron Oaks.
And that's the Traban Shower in response. Oh, okay.
So I guess the Boros Bully player is playing around a ninja. So that's the reason to attack with only 2 Squadron Oaks. And on the other side, the reason to cast the Charm targeting the Squadron Oak. There's a Ogre of Bolas, but I wasn't able to see what it draw. But Ferris doesn't have the 5th land drop, so it can be open to cast
the suffocating fumes
they have in hand. And I suppose they are trying to stick out Ninja of Deity Power, or they just trying to prevent Bully to dealing too much damage. So
to build a bigger board.
Because if you don't want to play your Amazon Rally, you can still try to go
that's the third
wide.
bird.
To go wide, and
that's the last one, right? One is in the graveyard, so three on the board.
That's the last copy of Squadron Oak.
Yeah, triple block.
Triple block on a Lord Bolas. Okay. I suppose
launch it on
is
the
a
board.
reasonable play. You are trading one creature from another creature.
That's not a good attack, in my opinion. But he's trying to connect a ninja, I think.
They are playing around on Ninja of the Commerce, basically.
But with three creatures on the board, 1-for-1 trade is not so good for the UB Theater, so I don't know if I attacked in that spot.
Yeah, this is probably just trying to draw something relevant. I mean, if they don't have suffocating fumes in hand,
that's a bad scratch.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
or
bad.
if they don't have any counter spells.
I think that he let resolve and trying to wrap them all.
If they have suffocating fumes, that's for sure the play. Let's see. I mean, maybe they prefer to cast a counter spell to force the flashback and then cast suffocating fumes. Maybe.
Yeah, to wipe all the uses.
If you are playing a bully,
yep.
you don't really. Maybe you don't really want to cast the screech from its flashback cost. If you want to play around Arms of Father or Suffocating Fumes, especially if you don't have a Ramosian Rally in your hand.
Yeah.
Arms in hand for Fairies is
row.
Okay, so they have an Arms of Father, but they don't have enough mana to cast it. And that's the real cost about playing.
Yeah, he don't want two toughness creatures. He want to resolve all the board with a suffocating fumes and.
Well, you know, if you in this case probably Fairies has a lot of copies of spells Stutter Sprite that want to cast as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of discarding them, it is better to resolve them.
Again, bad screech.
All right, let's see if Fairies is casting a counter spell.
It resolved. It resolved.
All right, so double tokens.
And that's the flashback. Here we go.
Okay, so seems like.
Let's see. Let's see.
From my point of view, if the bully player is strong enough or just lucky enough,
and that's another
they
one.
have the Guardian's Pledge in hand. No,
that Arms of Father. That's Arm of Father here.
So they went all out.
Yeah.
Hoping the opponent didn't have any answer because.